Alrighty. Get that music. One of these days, the music app is just going to crash, and then, we'll be in the mud. But for now, it is working. Look at me 5 minutes early. Has the sky fallen on this day? That is the question. All right. Don't want to waste too much time here. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. As a reminder, if you cannot catch the stream live, the VOD is available on Twitch immediately after the stream and on YouTube usually a day or so after. I try to keep that updated. YouTube is all caught up, so we're good to go on that. So if you watched the last VOD on YouTube, you are good to go. Just a brief recap here. In my coaching career, we started at Purdue for two reasons. One, they're my alma mater. And two, I think it is safe to say they're the worst team in the Big Ten. That's fairly simple. You could even argue they're like the worst Power 4 school. It's fine. It's not going great. I don't know how Ryan Walters still has a job. Probably he has an enormous buyout that the AD doesn't want to admit. Anywho, we have had a pretty successful run at Purdue so far, all things considered. 6-7 our first year, 7-6 our second year, 8-5 the previous year. We are only 1-2 in bowl games, unfortunately. So in an ideal world, that would be flipped. Recruiting hasn't been great. The issue I've run into at Purdue is simply that we're not big enough in prestige to compete against the bigger Big Ten schools, and we don't, ever get enough wins, or we've only won one bowl game, so getting that extended is a bit much. We did have a choice to make as our contract expired after the last season and to stay. I elected to stay, and my argument was, let me see if there's a oh yeah, I could have just clicked on it from that screen. What am I doing? 2026. And my argument was that I think we are really close to being amongst the top teams in the Big Ten. We played Nebraska close. We lost by 6 points to OSU and 4 points to Michigan in a classic game. We're not really dominating any Big Ten team, outside of Northwestern. Every victory we had in the Big Ten was a one-score game. So we're not really dominating anyone. We went 2-1 in our non-conference games, which was good. And, that needs some work. So my thought process was that this year can gonna be a prove-it year to see if we can, keep rising. Maybe next year get 9 wins, win our bowl game, and go from there. There are no guarantees. There is no, lock, no nothing in this contract. So even though it's a 4-year contract, if I want to leave after next year, I will be able to do so. It probably wouldn't look good. I don't think I'd take an integrity hit there, but you never know. So yeah, overall record right now, 21-18, 13-14 in conference. That's mainly hurt by the fact that we lost more conference games than we won our first 2 years. And then 1-2 in bowl games. But let's talk the current team. So the obvious lacking ability of this team is our offensive line. We lost 8 offensive linemen to either the draft or graduation, and this is our current offensive line room. As you can see, it is not good. We have Aiden Wright up top, who is amazing at run blocking, but he's so-so at pass blocking, and Uriel Holland, who is fine. We also have a promise to him where he has to play in 60% of snaps. So regardless of what transfers we bring in, Holland needs to be involved a decent amount. But that said, he only played in 4% of snaps last season. That's because we had what was probably the best offensive line in the Big Ten. in terms of overall, but we have lost all of it. Just rank and file. Other needs, linebacker, I think, whether it's a big need or not, I mean, I hope that like the Parker brothers, the latter of whom was second team all freshman last year. Um, Foster didn't really play. If he develops well, he might. Arthur Godfrey needs to develop, or else I'm gonna cry. So we might need, one linebacker up top, but it's not a huge need. Defensive line, I think we're okay. I originally penciled in as a need, but I went back and looked at it off stream, and I think we're good. The big problem with D line is going to be after next season because we have one, two, three, four juniors. And then in our defensive back group, I think we're pretty solid. We got Derek Parks and Dominic Powers at corner. Scott Blackburn also has developed into a really good. When I started, his potential was a C. His potential has skyrocketed, and it's been amazing. Safety, I'm okay with our safety group. I'm bringing in four guys. One of whom, Caden Moses, I know will be switching to corner. Eric Frazier may also. So our safety room is going to be worse than last year just by default. But guys like Elliott Sutton and Kane Chase, we know can do an okay job, and I'm not too concerned if third safety is a big need for us. Quarterback. We went from having 5 quarterbacks last season to probably 3, maybe 4, depending on how a transfer goes. Cade McKee is back to be a starter for the 3rd straight year. The reason why he only has 8 games played in each of the last 2 seasons is he got injured twice. He suffered a major leg injury in 2025 and a season-ending injury in 2026. So he's not exactly reliable, but we do have backup quarterback Antonio Stevens, who, despite the fact that he has yet to take a single snap, his attributes aren't terrible. If the accuracy goes up to like a 73, 74, I'll be a happy man. Will it? Who knows? Let's talk transfer portal. So I like to do the first off-season recruiting off-stream just because it's a lot of filtering, it's a lot of searching, writing names down. It's a lot of busy work that I just prefer doing off-stream. And you can't really see where you are in the race until you hit save in advance once. So at the moment, we have 9 scholarship slots open. Of that, we currently have 4 recruits that did not commit during the season, to the bane of my existence. I know it might be slightly unrealistic to code this in, but I really wish all recruits would commit before the transfer portal, but just because it would save me a lot of thinking. Of the 4, we are winning every single race, and I think the only one we're at risk of losing out to is losing Jay Brandt to Wisconsin. And if you look at his numbers, he's not very good. I think depending on how he develops, I might move him to offensive line. His strength is a 61, which obviously hurts that department. But if we lose out on Jay Brandt, I'm not that concerned. The issue I am going to run into is one of these recruits will be our 4th quarterback. The other one will be possibly our 12th wide receiver. At this point, when we only have 9 scholarship left and we're looking at 13 players, I don't know if I want these 2 on anymore. So depending on how things look next week, in week 3 of offseason recruiting, I will rescind their offers. I will take the 2-point hit to integrity and ride off into the sunset. Maybe I hold on to Grant because Cade McKee is injury prone, but I mean, to that end, a guy like Terry Webb, he has A- potential. He's already set up in a better spot than Ward is. So that's where we're at in recruiting. I would like to have Brandt, though. I'm not really going to chase. Jeffrey Easy would be good just because he has A- potential, but realistically, he's not going to play all that much. All right, let's talk transfers. So, as you can tell, I'm heavily looking at offensive line and then splashing at a couple other positions. Let's just do O line first to get that out of the way. Here's my O line group. Of the 5 I'm looking at, I am ahead on 4 of them. It should be noted that Jose Rich I just discovered this week, and so I don't know where I'm at in the race. My contact points are 2,100. I'm getting 28, so presumably, unless Georgia State, Kennesaw State offer him money, I'm ahead of them. The big question is, will Auburn offer them a scholarship? Other than that, I like everyone on this list. I'm going to be honest. The only reason I'm in on Fernando Schwartz is one, he's a good run blocker, but two, he's a 5-star freshman transfer. I'll take that. The other 3, Peoples, Garrison, and McFadden, are, I would say, good balancers to what we have. Peoples does kind of worry me because his blocking ratings aren't great. He has 86 strength, which is awesome. In an ideal world, I get, 4 out of 5 of these guys. But the problem is, if I get 4 out of 5 and I get all of my recruits I'm currently looking at, that only leaves 1 additional spot open. So depending on how things look next week, it may be a juggling act. So let me go through the positions really quick. So wide receiver, as I mentioned before, Dominic Morton, I don't really want him. I'm probably going to take away the offer sheet, whatever. Walker Green would be amazing. He is speedy. His catching is solid. The 54 ball security does worry me a little bit. He didn't play at all with Oklahoma, despite the fact that they paid him $1 million. Oh, to have that kind of problem. He's interested in us more than Troy, Florida, or South Alabama. One thing that kind of works is he doesn't care that much about proximity to home. If he did, we'd be in trouble. He would be probably our number 2 wide receiver, depending on how he develops versus how Carney develops and how Philip Casey gets a ratings boost. But he'll probably be in the top 4 regardless. And then we're just kind of, I don't want the recruit. The more that I think about it, I'm already going to have 10 whatever. So we're excited about him. Tight end, I went over already. Let me do D-line and linebacker in sort of one group. So I think the bigger need would be linebacker, especially if I can get one of Peters and Hobson. That makes it a really strong group. Zane Prince would be great if I can get him. If I don't get him, it's not the end of the world. But he would be a good top get for my defensive line, and that would help because our depth, it's a little bit shaky, and I'm not looking at any defensive backs at all. I think I'm just going to run with what I have. So that's where I'm at. I've already put in the recruiting pitches for everyone except 3 out of the 4 recruits. I have put in a pitch to Jay Brandt just because I want to see if Wisconsin also offers him money in a great pitch where I'm at, respectively. So that's the list. It's where we're at. Let us save in advance and see how things fake. All right, so with Brandt, they kind of took their foot off the gas. They just did an okay pitch. So I think if I want Brandt, he's mine. I don't think any of the other guys are going to catch me. All right, who am I? Let's just do this very simply. Whoops. Okay, I'm ahead on all of them except Fernando Schwartz and the linebacker Brian Peters. So I can't get all of these guys. It'd be great if I could. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to revoke the offer to Dominic Morton. I think he really doesn't have a great place on this team. His catching numbers for a recruit are fine, but I don't want to run into a scenario where because I have Morton, I lose out on one of the O-linemen. So I'm going to revoke the offer. I'm going to take the integrity hit. I can live with that. Now, the question becomes, do I also revoke Ward? I kind of think I do. I have a better quarterback than him coming in anyway as a recruit. My other quarterback is a redshirt sophomore back. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the 2 hit. Okay, I'm down to 11. I need 9. So odds are I'm going to get sniped for a couple of these guys. But even if I'm 1 or 2 players below scholarship limit, I'm still okay with taking the integrity hit just to avoid the worst case scenario. So let us figure this out. So Eastleigh, I'm not touching. Marshall is not going to catch us. Grant, I will do just an okay pitch. And if Wisconsin snipes us on him, they snipe us on him. Then those are my recruits taken care of. Okay. Now, let's do this. So wide receiver first, where am I at? So Troy, they gave him $1 million in NIL. Oh, for reference, I have 2.5 NIL money left. So Troy gave 1.2 million essentially in their ace pitch. That equals to 652. So if I give a great pitch and let's say $1 million flat, that gets me 562. I'm only 80 ahead. Ace pitch moves that up by yeah, I'll do that to an ace pitch. That gives me 596. I think I'm okay with that. That does wipe out a bit of my remaining NAL money, but that's okay. All right, O lineman, talk to me. So I'm still ahead. Jose Rich. Auburn still hasn't offered them, which I think means he's mine, or rather, he's not going to be Auburn's because their interest is just too low. Okay, they each offered him 250 to 300,000. I want Rich, but the problem with Rich is I think his overall is just going to be so low, and I already know I need to play Uriel Holland. So I think of these top 4, I'm prioritizing him the least. So he's just going to get an okay pitch. And if Georgia State comes in and gets him, so be it. The other 3, Peoples, McFadden, and Garrison, I like them all pretty equally. My preference would be McFadden or Peoples because I get 1 extra year with both of them. So I think McFadden is going to get a great pitch. Peoples, I'll just do great pitches for all 3. Let's do that. Schwartz. I mean, the interest on North Texas is just at what we are. Do I give the ace? Oh yeah, where do these guys care about money? Somewhat for Rich, somewhat for McFadden. Very. And I'm already offering Peoples $1 million and McFadden 1.5. Let's up McFadden's. Get us an extra 90 points on him. Schwartz. I'll double back to Schwartz. I want to get my defensive guys set and then figure out what I want to do. So these 3, 945 Akron. Okay. That's a problem. So yeah, he needs my ace pitch. Although actually it's the same for DC pitch great. I'll do that. And then I will also write him a check for $500,000. That gets me 500 points. I might get sniped on him. Who do I want to give my ace pitch to? Hobson or Peters? I like them both. Syracuse getting a 900 point bump is rude. Hmm. Yeah, but the thing about Hobson is Hobson I'm already ahead. Peters I'd have to be playing catch up anyway. So I'll give my ace pitch to Hobson. I don't think NAL is really worth it. If I give 332 on Peters, that means they would effectively just have to take their feet off the gas. So let me give a little bit of money. Well, see, they only did target player, which is weird. Why would you give a guy $1 million and then also only give target player? That seems a bit strange to me. I think I'll hold it like this. And then Schwartz can get a good pitch. And I'll write him a check for 400,000 to give me 516. So that means I'm 416 ahead before North Texas does anything. Okay. What pitch did they do? Great pitch. Okay. So that leaves me with 2 pitches remaining. I've given a pitch to everyone except Easley, who I think I'll get anyway, so I'll throw him an okay pitch. The other pitch I have is a DC good, and I don't think that would improve anyone. No. Okay, so that's where I'm at. I'm sitting on 330,000 NIL. Let's give Hobson some money. I'll give him 230,000 of that for an extra 60 points. And Walker Green, I will up his money. Well, yeah, I'll up Green's money. Okay. All right, so we have 9 scholarship slots open. I have 11 players. Let me adjust the priority order really quick. So, just in case. So, for commitment's sake, just Branton Easley last. I think top guys would be Hobson, McFadden, Garrison, Peoples, Pierce, Prince Peters, Walker Green. I'll just put him in the middle of the O-line. Schwartz, Rich, Easley, Brent. I think that's what I want. Just in case there's a tie, and by some miracle, I end up getting all 9 of these guys. Easley and Brandt are the 2 I don't get. Let's save that order. Okay, that is where we're at. I have done everything I can. I have offered all the money in the free world. Let us see. And I also have a couple former quarterbacks in Miles Brandon, Alberto Randall I want to check up on to see where they went. Okay, here we go. So far, historically in this save, signing day has not been good to us. We've gotten sniped a lot. So let's see what happens. Let's advance the week. Take a drink of water to hydrate. Here we go. And I have it sorted by priority. Okay. First up, linebacker Lane Hobson. Get in the building, 61 points. They offered him $1 million. Okay, good thing he got our ace pitch. Boston College put $1 million on the table. Okay, so we get Lane Hobson, redshirt sophomore, He played a decent amount, starter last season at North Carolina. He's in the building. Let's go. Dylan McFadden, offensive line transfer from Illinois. He commits to us. Never really in doubt. It looks like we didn't need to spend the $250,000, but it is what it is. Virginia offered a lot of money, if not a great pitch, so we get the redshirt sophomore. He started last 2 seasons. Maybe he was a backup in 2025 for Illinois. Get in. So that's 2. Lucas Garrison. Oh, goes to Miami. Man, all right. So they gave him $460,000 and an ace pitch from their offensive coordinator, and that beats us out because we just did head coach great. All right, so Lucas Garrison, the redshirt junior from UNLV, is headed to Miami of Ohio. Again, it's not a great look when I'm competing with offensive line transfers with MAC schools. Like, that's not great. Oy vey. I realized my stream title wasn't changed. I didn't do that. Ah. All right, so we don't get Graham. That sucks. Walker Green, if Troy gets him. We get Green, Troy. We needed that money then to offer them because that's about how much we made up. We get Walker Green, the true freshman transfer from Oklahoma. I mean, look at these numbers. Like, our wide receiver group has been entirely rebuilt, even though we lost 3 guys. Entirely rebuilt. We bit Green, that's a good. All right, now, if we get Peoples, I'm a little more okay with losing out on McFadden. We get Ezra Peoples, good get. Notre Dame offers him $680,000 and an ace pitch, but still not good enough. We get the redshirt sophomore from Cal, only started last season, is coming off of a season-ending leg injury. It's fine. He's a more balanced guy blocking wise. Not particularly good at either thing, but he has great strength. So I think that will help. So we have 9 openings. At the moment, 4 of them have been filled. We move on to defensive side of things. Zane Prince, come on down to Purdue. Oh, 18. Oh, no. He chooses us over Akron. Akron offered $1 million and a great pitch. We win by 18. Oh, man, that's... If I'm Akron, I'm so mad. He's from Ohio as well. He's a redshirt sophomore from Arizona State. Didn't play until last season. Got 5 sacks. Played really well. 13 tackles for loss. And now he comes to Purdue and probably 3rd, maybe 2nd defensive line. All right, here we go. Bryant Peters goes to Syracuse. Yeah, I had a feeling. They offered him $850,000 and a DC great pitch. All right, we get one linebacker. We don't get the other, which is a bit of a shame. Bryant Peters, obviously, you look at his tackling, look at his block shedding. He's really, really good. You can put him at the D line. You can put him at linebacker. It'll be great. Redshirt sophomore, started last year at Iowa. Man, that hurts. But we got Lane Hobson, who I like a bit better. He's a little more rounded. So, all right. So at the moment, 1, 2, 3, we have 5. So if we get all 4 of these guys, we're okay. Fernando Schwartz, 5-star freshman transfer from Oklahoma. And he comes to Purdue, North Texas, only a good pitch from their offensive coordinator. And we get him. We had to offer him this money or else he would have gone to them. What a good get for us. He's a freshman transfer. He's a 5-star. The potential is a C. Who cares? What a good recruit. He only appeared in one game and he got a pancake, but Oklahoma's like, no, we don't want him. Like, okay. All right, Jose Rich. Did we do enough to snipe him from Georgia State? Yes, we did. Jose Rich, get in the building. Again, similarly balanced blocker, but his strength isn't that great. Redshirt sophomore from Illinois, never played. He factors in to be kind of a backup O lineman, but who knows? He has a potential. So if his overall goes up, if his strength goes up by a little bit, he could compete for snaps, but he's kind of in the backup range. All right. Jeffrey Easley. We assume he's ours. He is ours. It wasn't really close. Easley, I mean, he's going to be a backup for a couple years, let's be honest. His strength needs to be higher. His run blocking, I believe when I started scouting him, it was in like the C range. Clearly, it's not there. But pass blocking will be good after a couple years, so he should have a role in a few years. All right, Jay Brandt, did we do enough to stave off Wisconsin? Yes, we did. They do a great pitch. We do an okay pitch. And in the end, he is ours. I'm debating moving Jay Brandt to offensive line. His run blocking and pass blocking are okay. My problem that I'm going to run into is during development and when the ratings increase, I don't think his blocking ratings will be prioritized in that, more so than his catching and his route running. So we'll see how that goes. But okay, overall, that's pretty good. I mean, of the O linemen, let's see, not including Easley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of the 5 O linemen, we got 4 of them, which was our goal. And then of the defensive players, we get one of the linebackers we wanted. We got the defensive lineman we wanted. I think that's a win. And good thing, I revoked the offers of those other 2 recruits, or else we may lose out on some of these guys. Cool. Well, hi there. All right, I do want to look at a couple signing day commits really quick. Some former players of ours who transferred on out of here. Let me look here. None of them on page 1, which is tough. Or on, oh no. Miles Bland. Let's just see where he goes. So Miles Bland goes to Texas A&M. He was our backup quarterback last couple seasons. He did, okay. I think 2025 he was obviously better. But he was in a backup role. He holds a record. What record? Single game passing percentage. Oh, good on you, Miles. Good on you. But I mean, yeah, he has a cannon for an arm. But the problem is his IQ just wasn't great, and for some reason his accuracy fell off a tank this season. So he goes to Texas A&M. I assume to commit or to compete for a starting job there. Alberto Randall goes to Iowa. Wisconsin offered him a decent amount of money, but no dice. Randall was our 3rd string quarterback. Played a little bit, off and on bench role. Started a couple games last season, and was not even as accurate as Bland overall. Got sacked quite a bit, which is tough on him. But with Randall, I mean, he's worse than Bland, I think, ratings-wise, but he has that A-plus potential. So if you're Iowa, you're banking on him developing and maybe being a starter in a couple years. So credit to him. And then Dominic Banks is going to Rutgers. He never played for me. He was our 3rd and then 4th quarterback on our list. He has the best IQ, but the problem is his accuracy is just in the tank, and he has a worse arm than the other 2 guys. So Rutgers gets him. Army offered him $1.9 million, but that was not enough. So overall, Banks goes to Rutgers. Let's see. So Banks goes to Rutgers, Randall goes to Iowa, and Bland goes to Texas A&M. All right, I think we'll play Iowa this season because we didn't play them last season. We'll see. All right, here's our recruiting class. Got a couple five. We got 2 5-stars, 2 4-star transfers, and the 4-star recruit. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's see where our recruiting class ranks. We're not in the top 50. We are 64. No 5-star, 1 4-star, 17 3rd-star prospects, 5 2-stars, because obviously this does not include transfers. I mean, that's a much, much better recruiting class than we've had any of the previous seasons, just in terms of ratings. So that's pretty good. That'll play. Cool. Yeah, good class. I'm happy with it. I think the only thing is that I think our corner room might get a bit messy with a lot of players in the same similar range, and then offensive line, I'm going to have to do mental gymnastics. Our prestige still doesn't move. We're so close to 6. I think if we win our damn bowl game. All right. So our stadium drops, college life and marketing all drop. NIL, we have $55 million to spend. NIL needs to be at the max. Like that, just in order to compete, it needs to be at the max. Coaching staff, let's resolve our debts. Okay. So marketing, I need to get it back to its previous level. That has to happen. Academics, we're going to fall under 10 next season. I'm okay with that. College life, I would like to get back up to a 10. How much to get facilities to an 8? 13 million. So if I do that, C plus facilities and recruiting, 10% bonus to player development in the off season, which might be worth it. Base gain 2 preseason trainings and gives 35 scout. Ooh. I'll pencil that in. And then our stadium is just... I can get back to 7. Cool. All right, so I have 3.8 million left over. I could add it to the marketing or the academics. Let's... Yeah, I'll add it to facilities. That way, when we drop below 8 again, hopefully it's not as bad. Okay. Okay. I think that's where we're at. I think NIL, 11 million. Coaching staff, resolve the debts. Stadium, back up to a 7. Facilities, up to an 8. College life can stay at a 10, but, you know, we just want to get a little bit closer. Marketing, got that back up to 11. Academics, we're not investing in. The big academic investment will be next season. Okay. That's our money. Here's our earnings breakdown, by the way. We satisfied all boosters except we had no wide receivers earn all conference, which we knew going in. But that is what it is. Non-negotiables are a heck of a thing. So pretty good booster, pretty good results. All right, let's advance. See what? Any new boosters? No new boosters, so we're still stuck with 2 gold and 3 bronze. Cool. All right, no conference realignment. As a reminder, for those who weren't here, toward the start of the save, I am using a custom database, and essentially to make the math work with the divisions, the Big Ten, it has like USC and UCLA, but it does not have Washington, does not have Oregon. They are in the Pac-10, and Stanford also still in the Pac-10, not in the ACC, wherever the ACC is. Here it is. Notre Dame in the ACC, by the way. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I want to realign anything. Prestige wise, we're pretty okay. I'm just so annoyed that we're in the dang Mid East division with OSU and Michigan. Like every year I have to play these clowns. Very annoying. All right, schedule customization. Ooh, Texas A&M to open. I'll make that an away game, and let's do week 9 a home game. I haven't decided on opponents. All right, so here's our schedule. Open at Texas A&M. I'm fine with that, and we could potentially play against Miles Bland if he gets the starting job there. Also, Rutgers in week 4. Dominic Banks if he gets the starting job then, and week 11 Iowa Alberto Randall. I could potentially play 3 of my previous quarterbacks this season. That's awesome. All right, so at Texas A&M to start, then home against Minnesota and UCLA, at Rutgers, at Louisiana Tech. I might flex that one out. Home to OSU before the bye. Week 7 bye, I'm okay with that. And then at Illinois when we come back. Home against Old Dominion. Yeah, our schedule gets kind of tough in this range here. Home to Michigan, then at Iowa week 11, home to Penn State in week 12, and at IU in week 13. So, with regards to recruiting visits, I have two of my home games in the first 3 weeks. That kind of hurts because after that, our next recruiting visit possibility is OSU, and then after that, that's in week 6. Then after that, it's in week 9. So that kind of hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so opponents. Who did I? What? I'm just trying to remind myself. Out of conference last year, I had SEC, ACC, and Sun Belt. Okay. And then 2025, I had MAC, Conference USA, and Sun Belt. Okay. So I do not want to schedule a Sun Belt team. And then year one, I had SEC, Conference USA, and Sun Belt. Okay, that must be the default then. All right, so with this new schedule, I don't. So 2 of the past 3 seasons, I faced SEC, Conference USA, and Sun Belt. So I don't want any of them. So Old Dominion and Louisiana Tech definitely need flexed. I have not faced a Big 12 or a Mountain West school. So let's do that. Or Pac-10 school either. Do I take on Cal? Ooh, Air Force could be fun. Let's do Air Force away in week 5. And then let's find a Pac-10 school. Maybe a lower end Pac-10 school like Prestige of 4 or 5. So like an Oregon State, Stanford. Let's do Stanford. Let's take them on. So out of conference, we have SEC. No, I mean, I've also scheduled SEC the past 2 seasons. Or 2 out of the past 3, I should say. Do I flex out Texas A&M? But I want to see if Bland has won the job. Maybe next year. That'll be next year. Let's flex out Texas A&M. This is an away game to open. Who do I want? Could go Mac School. Let's do a second Pac-10 team. With this one, I don't really care about the prestige. Could go one of the Arizona schools. Let's go to Arizona State to open. So that makes we have a pretty easy schedule in the beginning in terms of prestige, but a little more difficult to close. I think that works. So out of conference is at Arizona State, and then at Air Force, home to Stanford. I'm okay with that because that gets me two Pac-10 schools in Mountain West. Those are conferences that I've never had at a conference before. Cool. Am I running from the Big 12? That is the question. So yeah, pretty decent schedule, I think. Big 10, the Big 10 schedule outside of OSU and Michigan is pretty dicey. Penn State, they're really good last season. Iowa were good. Looks like they had a down year last year. But I mean, there's a world where we're 5-0 going in to face OSU, which would be awesome. All right. Let's advance the year. I like how it lets me edit the out of conference schedule like after I've set the schools, which fair enough. All right, yeah, nothing is changing. So let's advance the year and enjoy this loading screen for like 30 seconds. I say 30. Sometimes it's quicker. Not a lot, but sometimes. All right. I think I'm pretty happy with that schedule. Two Pac-10 teams. The travel that first week going to Arizona State. Well, it's going to be blistering hot too. That's tough. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Here we are. Position change. Let us think for a moment. All right. So, first thing I'm doing, Jay Brent, what's your rating as an O lineman? 61. Yeah, that's not worth the switch. I don't think. I think getting Holland his 60% of snaps might be a little tough. What is Harrison Waters' rating as a wide receiver? 65. Nah. I feel bad for Harrison because he's just going to be our fourth wide receiver every year he's here. Which is a bit unfair to him. All right, let's just see if there's any D lineman that would get a big boost from moving to linebacker and vice versa. 58 for Jackson Lawson. $68 for Gilbert. Yeah, he doesn't really have a good chance of playing at either spot. Now that I look at the list, I don't think I need to do any of that. Okay, so safety and corner is a bit of a mess. Let me just iron this out. So, Eric Frazier, what would you be as a corner? 69. Odds are Randall develops better. And at that point, I think he's more worth it as a safety, especially, I mean, if his overall goes up high enough, he could be our third safety, either him or Bradshaw. Moss, I think I will make a corner just to toughen out that list a little bit. Brings me what, 10? Okay. Peter, what's your rating? Same? And Bradshaw's not going to be better now. All right. Who was the other one I wanted to look at? I have a safety written down. Oh, he's the one I just moved. I'm a genius. Nicholas Sims, what's your safety rating, bud? No. Okay. So yeah, I think that's set. Really. All right. Yeah, I think that's the position changes pretty done and dusted. Unless I'm forgetting something, which to be fair, I could be. I think I'm fine with 3 quarterbacks going in. I think I'm cool with that. All right, let's save it advance. Off-season gains. We need big years. We need big gains from the offensive line group, the running back group, and the front seven. Anything else is gravy, but run backing, running back, offensive line, front seven. Those are the positions where I feel the least confident in. So I need some. Well, no, I'm more confident in the front seven than the defensive backs. But the defensive backs, if two of them develop well, then I'm set at safety and I got a good depth at corner already. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. Position by position. Oy, only 2 from Stevens. That hurts. His accuracy did not change at all. That's a problem. Conversely, Webb's accuracy went up by 7. Stevens' accuracy only being a 68, that's a legitimate problem because McKee has been injured 2 straight seasons. Cade, though, he got a big IQ and arm strength boost. His accuracy is now up to an 87. Yeah. I think if he's healthy, I think this is a season we really need him to be healthy because Stevens did not develop as I wanted him to. But that's okay. But yeah, really happy with McGee's development. Taylor Webb got a little bit of boost as well, which is good. Stevens, though, you hope for better. Running backs. Oh, no. I mean, really, I shouldn't have expected much from 4-star Alex Williams. But even, I mean, 2, man? How did Hunter's ball security increase? Only by 2? God. Can I just have you hear Horn back as a graduate player, please? Oh, boy. I mean, not great. Obviously, Hagen was always going to develop well. Hunter, I would have liked his ball security to be in at least the mid-70s. And Harrison Hunter is like 85s. I think Alex Williams in an ideal world red shirts, especially since I'm losing both Hagen and Hunter to graduation and Seth Summers. Similarly, though, he's a JUCO. His ball security also didn't move. But hey, he got 8 route running. Yeah. So I think next year the depth chart's going to be Hagen, Hunter, and then it's going to be a question of whether I want Waters or Summers as the third option. And then Williams is going to be down there. He needs to redshirt. Like, his potential got worse. It started at a D and it's gotten worse. So that's insane to me. Jared Malone, by the way, quietly, his potential went up to an A+. Zane Ramsey went up to an A. Look at that, boys. But yeah, this run right here, disappointing growth, in my opinion. Wide receiver. Oh, yep. Yes. Yes, sir. I've Richard won 30 targets. I think he'll get it, as his overall goes all the way up to an 85. That said, Marcus James, I think, is still going to be above him on the depth chart just for his speed alone. But man, his catching is only 77. Philip Casey just had no development. What is the... It's fine. It's fine. Ooh, Samson went up by 4. Okay. Poor Charles Bell. He's just never gonna play, and it's a sad thing. Okay. I feel a little more confident about how we're gonna do wide receiver next season with some good growth from Mateo Leonard. Carney got a little boost. Samson got a little boost. But I have a feeling it's going to be a not insignificant need for the second year in a row. But yeah, this annoys me. Because Walker Green also, I mean, come on, buddy. Like, really? I hyped you up so much. And the best I get is 8 evasion? Whatever. Tight end. Alright, yeah, Diego Ford goes up. Did his catching change? By 1. What about Brand? I mean, to be fair, Brandt's pass blocking went up by a lot. Do I put Brandt ahead of Esteban? I think I just kind of do. Like, Diego Ford obviously is going to be tight end 1, but I think it's going to be Brandt and then Terrell. Which kind of sucks for Terrell, but... His pass block got worse. It went down by 2. Crazy. Offensive line, obviously. Let's get the big thing out of the way. 15-point boost for Aiden Wright. My God. I'm just going to do jumping jacks now. 103 overall. That's crazy. McFadden, transfer boy, went up by 2. I would have liked... I mean, he didn't improve at all with run blocking. It's a bit terrifying. Ariel Holland got a big boost, which is good because he needs to get 60% of snaps. Fernando Shorts, the redshirt freshman, looks like his run blocking went up by 5. Pass blocking only went up by 1, but that's okay. Strength did not move in the slightest. But hey, his durability went up by 6. Woo! That one hurts. Oscar Duke, JUCO guy, his overall went up. His pass block went up by 10. His run block only went up by 2. But hey, 77. So yeah, I think our O-line is going to be... I think we'll be okay. I think if one of Wright, McFadden, or Holland get injured, we're in trouble. Ezra Peoples, oh no. For one, his run block and pass block stats flip, which is kind of funny. But his overall only went up by 1, and he lost 2 levels of potential. It's a bit painful. Ooh, Brian Dodd, the redshirt freshman, went up by 4. Okay. I like that. Nicholas Morrison, redshirt freshman, went up by 5. Okay. How many alignment do I want to play next year, then? 7? Just these 7 on down? Do I want Wooten to play? Oh, yeah. Jose Rich. Overall went up by 1. His pass block did not change. His strength went up by 1. I think either I'd play 7 or 8. But we'll see how that shakes out. And kicker! Ulrich Looks like his kick power went up by 4, kick accuracy went up by 3, punt power went up by 6, and punt accuracy went up by 3. Cool. So yeah, he's our starting kicker. We have a backup, redshirt freshman Dallas Tyler, who, I mean, he's kind of accurate, but he has no power. So Oric's going to be our kicker. His potential did go down from an A minus to a B. That's a bit concerning. D line, talk to me. Okay, I mean, everyone pretty much got a little bit of good development. I'm really happy I got Zane Prince in the building. But yeah, this is a good group now. Mateo Carney went up by 3, which helps our back end development. Leonard Curry, my buddy. I'll always remember Leonard Curry, just as a freshman. Got a pick. It was wonderful. Yeah, D line, no real complaints. I mean, again, of the top 6 guys, half of them are seniors. So I'll have to do, oh no, excuse me, 4 to 6 are seniors. So I'm going to have to do some juggling after this season. Willie Logan didn't develop all that much. Warren Grimes went up by 4. Irwin went up by 5. That's pretty good. Oh yeah. I'm content. I'm content with this. Leonard Curry's potential up to a B minus. What a guy. All right, linebacker. You're telling me that after Malik Parker is the 9th linebacker in the order, and he was second team Big Ten freshman linebacker. That hurts. I mean, yeah, Corey Everett just, I mean, crushed it. His coverage ability went up by 8. His tackling went up by 3. His block shed went up by 8. That's huge. IQ went up by 5. Yeah, Corey Everett just leapfrogged him. So I think next year, if I play 6, I mean, these guys will barely play. It's not great. No, I'll play more than 6. I'll play 7. And then I'll have a decision to make with Everett versus Foster versus Parker. Lincoln Foster might kill me. But that's it. Corner. Oh, yeah. Yep. Parks went up by 6. His overall's a 90. Powers overall, only went up by 2. But his man coverage is now 101. I don't even care about the zone. Thank you. Good night. Hess did not develop that well. In fact, his zone coverage went down, as did his IQ. Blackburn went up by 5. That's big. His zone coverage went up by 9. Man up by 6. Oh, no, excuse me. Zone was 11. I can do math. Finn Russell also got a pretty big boost. That's good. So he'll be our corner 6 over Moss, I think. Okay. Ooh, 5 points for Arturo Fong to recruit. That's pretty good. Okay. I would have liked, Moses or Noble to get a little bit more of a boost to compete with maybe Russell or Morrison, but I think that was asking for a bit much. So I think, yeah, 6 corners, just like last year. And the order will pretty much be this all the way down, except I'm going to put Blackburn ahead of Hess, I think. All right, last but not least, safety. Oh, no. Well, good news is Eric Frazier is definitely our 3rd safety. Bad news is his tackling barely went up. His IQ went up by 5. His zone coverage went up by 8, which is really good, but man, that hurts. Kane Chase only went up by 2 and he lost 2 level of potential. Sutton only went up by 2. That's not great. That's not good. I'm almost tempted to give true freshman Cooper Chambers the 4th safety job. Never mind. Peter Gooding with 87 tackling. I kind of just want to throw him to the Wolves, maybe. Yeah, that's a little disappointing from my top two guys. Frazier went up by 4. That's good, but nothing really from Bradshaw, Gooden. Okay. I think overall pretty good. Mixed bag in a couple positions. But man, this annoys me because Stevens is, he's the only one of the 4 that I brought in 2 years ago that are still around. All right. Game plan install. So I think everything we've done has worked pretty well. I think aggressive zone is still the move, and then we'll do a 3-4. We'll stay in 3-4. I think that just makes sense. I think we have 2 5-stars, 4 4-stars, 61 3-stars, 16 2-stars, 2 1-star. Our weakest area is field goal and punting. And then after that is our running ability. Yeah, I think another question with the 3-4 versus 4-3 is just which of these 2 positions do I want to have 7 or 8 guys run out at, and which do I want to have like 6? And I think really I only want 6 of these guys out there. Whereas linebacker, I would rather give Malik Parker those reps, Corey Everett those reps, than say, Devin Gilbert or Mateo Carney. So, yep, I think we stay 3-4. Cool. Okay. Let us save and advance. That took us 1 hour and 7 minutes to get to the spring. As far as things considered, not too bad. So we had 7 transfer players in total? Not bad. Okay. First things first, auto assign the trainings. Okay. And also auto assign the practice moves. Just guys, more power to you if you practice manually. Okay. First thing I always do is get my depth chart figured out. Let's make sure that is on. All right, quarterback, self-explanatory. McGee is 1, Stevens 2, Terry Webb 3. I am the most concerned about our backup quarterback room this year compared to the previous 3 years because Stevens' accuracy just did not move, and that really worries me. Running back, I have a legitimate log jam for that 3rd spot. I think Hagan and Hunter are 1 and 2, despite my concerns with Hunter's 69 ball security, which is the worst amongst my running backs. I think Williams stays at 5. So I think it's a question of, do I want Harrison Waters or Seth Summers to be my 3rd running back? Harrison, obviously, he's been on this team for a couple years. I mean, he hasn't really done anything too crazy. Last season, he did pretty well in terms of yards per carry, but I think I'm going to start with Seth Summers having that number 1 spot. And then if he struggles or doesn't go as well, Harrison Waters goes in. Alex Williams, I need to redshirt, and I need to pray to whatever deity will listen that his D- potential starts going the other direction. And then Zane Ramsey is probably going to kill me because he develops okay and never gets any playing time. Wide receiver, I have 6. And I think the only swap I'm going to make is Samson over Charles. So that means Mateo Leonard for the 3rd year in a row, guy who I offered $250,000 to, won't play ever. Kind of hurts. So yeah, Richard wants 30 targets. He'll get that easily, being the number 2 wide receiver, I think. Do I want him as number one, actually, now that I think about it? Because, like, the route running between him and James are the same. So really it's a question of, do I want the speed demon up top, or do I want Richard with his 95 catch? I think I want Richard with his 95 catch. Then this is the order straight down. The redshirt freshman Sampson gets the edge over Charles and Mateo Leonard. I feel sorry for Charles. I really do. Part of me thinks I should have converted him back to tight end and have him take over. But speaking of which, I have Diego Ford. I think I'm okay. Jay Brandt ahead of Esteban. I think we're going to get Brandt in the game early and often. His blocking ability is just better than Esteban's. Everyone's blocking ability is better than Esteban's. Offensive line, I have 8. Think that is okay. Holland, 60%. He should get that as a number 3 alignment, I think. Other order, right? Obviously, McFadden, Holland is set. Schwartz is 4. I went Duke ahead of Peoples. The 96 pass block just needs to be there. Then the other question is, what do I do about 7, 8, and 9? So I think Jose Rich needs to be in there because of his run blocking ability. Do I switch him and Dodd? I think I do. Let's put Rich ahead of Dodd. Again, it's the 8th offensive lineman spot. These guys, they're not going to play that much. And then depth can be this straight down, I guess. 58. My God. All right, G line. This is going to be possibly the easiest one ever. These 6 all straight down, except Saunders will be second over Aiden Long because, I mean, look at his tackling ability. And then, yeah, Palmer over Carney, I think I have to do. I lose a little bit of tackling, but I get 13 better block shed. Strength is essentially the same. I think I'd rather have Palmer out here. My JUCO buddy. So, yeah, Carney and Gilbert can be depth options. Linebacker, I think I'm going to up linebacker to 7. And oh God. All right, let's take a moment, figure this out. Who needs to be in there? I think Corey Everett ahead of Jordan Parker and ahead of Dennis Sutton. Because his pursuit is good, his tackling is the 3rd best amongst all my linebackers. Everett needs to play. So he's 5. That leaves me with Sutton, Parker, the 2 Parker brothers, and Lincoln Foster for 2 spots. I think it's Foster is out. I mean, his zone coverage is great. Don't get me wrong, it's a 76. But his tackling is worse than Sutton's and Parker's. His pursuit is bad. He's not particularly quick. So I think Foster is 9, which is unfair to do, but it's happening. So now the question is of this order. I think Malik Parker, I'm going to put at 6, and this is solely almost due to him getting second team all freshman linebacker lists. Like I want to see him grow into that. Sutton versus Jordan Parker. It's very similar boats. I think it has to be Sutton. I'm losing 4 block shedding, but I'm getting 12 pursuit, 10 tackling. He is worse in zone coverage. He's not as strong, but I think his IQ is a lot better. So I'd rather have the 10 extra tackling and the 12 extra pursuit. That means Jordan Parker drops, which is going to be pretty painful for him. I imagine he puts in a transfer request once he starts realizing that he's just not going to play. But hey, our linebacker, room is as deep as ever. We have Atkins, Hobson up top. Kyler Holt, we know can do the job. So I think doing it this way, I lose a bit of zone coverage ability with Foster not playing, with Parker not playing, prioritizing Malik Parker and Dennis Sutton. I think that's the only downside of this. Everything else, I'm fine. But I lose a bit of zone coverage ability. Corners. I have 5. I'm dropping that down to 6 because I had multiple cornerback injuries last season. I think that might have been the reason why. Do I want Russell or do I want Moses? Or do I want even Noble? Should Noble be in this conversation? Or Fong for that matter? Well, so right now my top 4 corners, almost all of them are man. Blackburn's better at zone. Granted, they're all good at each one, but Parks, Powers, Hess, and Morrison all favor man. Blackburn's the only one that favors zone. Of my depth options, Russell, Moses, Noble, and Fong, the only one that favors zone is Noble. So does that mean I put Noble in to balance the scale a little bit? But then I'm also putting in someone who is slower than Russell and Fong, someone who can't tackle as well as Moses. And again, it's my 6th corner spot, Finn Russell appeared in 5 games last season. Noble, Noble appeared in 1 game. Then obviously true freshman Moses and Fong. I think I'm leaning Moses. And my argument is I know I'm taking a big man coverage hit, but I'm getting a little bit better zone, a little bit better, the much better tackler. I'm losing some speed as well. I think I'm going to start with this, see how it shakes out. Safety just makes me want to cry. I'm going to be honest with you. If anything happens to Elliott Sutton, we're doomed. It's as simple as that. I mean, 1, 2, and 3 are locked in. Sutton, Chase, and then true freshman Eric Frazier. Gooden or Bradshaw? Would I rather have a safety that can't cover or a safety that cannot tackle? It's about where I'm at. Bradshaw has never really played. Gooden, I know didn't play. Yeah, he appeared in 4 games. 4 tackles and a press. I think I'm going to give it to Gooden. And my argument is my top 3 corners are all solid with zone, but Chase and Frazier aren't great tacklers. Gooden's a good tackler. So I'd rather have Gooden than these 4 all the way down. I think it's a bit unfair to Bradshaw because of his coverage ability and his speed. I mean, he's quicker than Frazier and Gooden, but that's how I'm doing that. Kicker is going to be Ulrich. There's no real competition there. He will also be my punter. Return specialist, I assume, is James because of his 105 speed. Cool. Okay. Primary passing targets. This is where I'm going to get a little creative. I think it's going to be Richard 1. And that's not because of the promise. That's because just overall ability. James 2. 3, I like the idea of Hagen out of the backfield. My concern is if I say Hagen, does that mean he will be in on more passing plays, irregardless of how I've set up the running back pitch? I think I'll put him there and then we'll just see how that shakes out because Hagan, I mean, if I look at his, building the passing game, that's really not his thing. He caught no passes at Boise State for crying out loud. So yeah, maybe putting him there is not the move. Hold please. I'll leave it blank. Okay. So depth chart is set. I think there's a couple question marks, but it's mainly at the back end depth options. I'm accepting the fact that I'm putting a 69 overall out there at a line, but it's okay. Recruiting. So the other reason I wanted to see Antonio Stevens develop really well is Cade McKee is obviously graduating after this season. And had Stevens developed, decently, I would have been less worried about quarterback going into next season. But that's considering me worried. First of all, is there anyone with above 90 interest in me? Yes, Jason Power. Why is it 90? You're from Nevada. Oh, I see. He wants to leave home. To be fair, I think Hawaii would be a better bet. Interesting. Okay. So, let's do it like this. I'm tired of looking at 2-star and 1-star. So let's do 3-star and above. Let us look at quarterbacks. I'm already ahead on this guy, evidently. That's cool. I think I'll do interest score first, accepting the fact that with a lot of these, I'm competing against just the best guys. So I'm going to, because I get 10 camp invites, I'm literally going to do the top 10. The top 10 interest-wise, I'm going to invite them to camp. Other needs, where's my senior breakdown? So we have a lot of seniors on the D line, then a handful at wide receiver and corner. I think the reason I'm doing camp invites for these guys is I'll know immediately what their potentials are. And since some of them I'm competing with, OSU, Michigan, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, I'd rather just know next week and then I can figure out if I need to invest in them really long term. Next up, let me look at a combination of a defensive line and corner, please. Interest scores. And these guys, I'm going to scout to know their potential. So again, the fact that I only get 5 is a bit annoying. Not great. McNeil, come on down. I mean, I can work with a B zone and C minus fan. I can work with that, but I don't know if I want to. I'll target him nonetheless. It's a lot of JUCO guys. I think I'll do this by position. Let me take corners off. Give me just the top 5 from this list. And the 5 from this list. Okay. So D line will be next week. Corner will be summer 1. Then I'll maybe do wide receiver the next time. I have a lot of pitches remaining. I don't really want to do them. But I guess I might as well. Let's do whichever one. This is my least favorite part of the game, is this sort of spring, summer thing. So I just get kind of overwhelmed with information, trying to figure out where I want everyone to be. That's okay. It's fine. Cool. All right. Camp invite sent out. Recruiting is done. Advance the week. Okay. First things first, auto practice. Auto assign training. Recruiting. All right, very simple. Let us look at some potential and stats for QBs. Immediately off the list, Tate Beach, Billy McLeod, Hawthorne off the list. I'll keep Waters, Workman off the list. I'll keep McMillan, Mena off the list. I'm gonna be recruiting against Notre Dame, Michigan, and Wisconsin for this dude. I don't feel like doing that to a guy that has C plus potential, though. To be fair, his arm strength and accuracy is already 77. What's the interest look like? This? All right, yeah, no, get out of here. McMillan maybe is like a backup option, but his arm strength's at D plus. I'm not interested. All right, so these are going to be my three big chases. Something tells me Cordova is not going to be coming here, but you know what? You never know. A boost, ace pitch. Great pitch, ace pitch. Okay. Next things next. Let me go to defensive line and give camp visits to the 10 that I circled. And then your potential's an A, my friend. Can have a great day. All right, next, let's do corners. So give me the 5. I will scout the 5 with the most interest. I had 2-star enabled. Wonder why that was happening. I mean, I don't like any of these guys. I guess Rasmussen, but for some reason, these guys are interested. Get rid of 2-star and 1-star for me. And then give me 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And give me 3 that I would be points ahead with initial contact on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, whoops. I already know your potential. Go away. Cool. All right, because then my corner group can go to camp next week. F plus potential. YOLO. All right, and then these guys I'll just give whatever best pitch works. And odds are a decent amount of the guys I'll be moving off of anyway. So, all right, creating is done. That is done. Advance. We're at 1:30. Will I get through game 1? That is the question. Auto design training. Okay, defensive lineman. So your potentials. D, get out. Get out. Get out. F, get out. D plus, get out of here. C minus, but his overall is already a 78. I'll keep him. Get rid of that. Zachary Paul, B minus block Jed. That's the loyalty tag or the NIL tag? Loyalty, okay. I have a feeling I'm going to miss out on triplet just anyway. Yeah, I like these four. I'll give a good pitch to these two, a great pitch to you, and then Paul, you can just get an okay pitch. Great pitch. All right, let us now send the cornerbacks to camp. I can already schedule a visit with him. Well, I'd like to know your potential before I do that first, my friend. I mean, F, it's not worth it. F plus potential, I'm already like fifth behind. That's just. Whoops, I'm looking at the wrong screen because I'm a genius. You get an ace pitch. You get a great pitch. Vanderbilt, will you chill out? Cordona, you get a great pitch. Yeah, I have a feeling fighting for Cordoba is going to be, that's going to be tough. Okay, next, I would like 10 wide receivers. Let me scout the first 5 for interest. Not great, but I'll add you 3 to my targets. Then let me get the next 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let me get points ahead initial contact. One of these days I'll remember to filter out the 2s. Give me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they will be my group for the last training camp. And just for the heck of it, you get a good pitch. You get an okay pitch. You get an okay pitch. All right. That is that settled. Summer number 2, let's go. I do kind of blitz through this part. I assume I'm definitely in the minority of like, I kind of want to get through this off-season recruiting and move on to the good stuff. Okay, who did I send? Horners. All right, Ryder, get out of here. I mean, again, his overall is already a 70. No. Well, I mean, his man coverage is already a 72. Not a bad corner group, if I do say so myself. Not a bad corner group. I'm tempted with Hunt, but I'm also so far behind these other schools. And nah, I'll prioritize other guys. Okay. Hello there, everyone. Schultz, I'm out. Okay. So a couple of these guys I can schedule visits with. I definitely want to get Dodds. Oh my, his zone is a D. The potential being an A minus for Dodson, I don't care about as much because he's a JUCO. I'm only gonna get him for 2 years. The zone coverage being a D is a bit disconcerting, especially considering I have a lot of man specialists already. That said, I'm losing quite a few of those man specialists. Everyone's just a man specialist. Fair enough, game. Fair enough. I mean, I'll schedule Dodson. Oh, I use an away game. Thing in terms of what I want to devote my resources to a corner. Might as well go for Tony. And let's just do week 9 against Stanford. Farrell. I'm out. Leach, I'm in. Rasmussen, I'm in. Leon, I'm out. Well, yeah. Leon, I'm out. Dodson, I'll be in. Bowers, I can be in. All right, so of these guys, I need to give my best pitches realistically to these guys. So you'll get an ace. You'll get a great. Bowers, you can get. I'll give you an ace. I'll be a nice guy. And these two can get my DC good pitches. Okay. Let me really quick. Give my D line pitches going. No. Yes. Wait, no. That was not what I wanted to do at all. There we go. Okay. Last position group to go to camp. Wide receivers. Hello. I already know these guys' potential. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me scout you to see your potential. Ooh, A minus, get in the building. Who else? MSU or Penn State? Penn State, week 12 for you, Mr. Dixon. Give you an okay pitch for good measure, as well as Wagner. I can also schedule a visit with. Do I play Illinois at home this year? No. That's a shame. You can be Minnesota. I'm cool with that. All right, so that is my camp visits done. I think for now, I'm not even going to add anyone else. I'm going to see what their potentials are, clean them out, and then just redo it. And then just re-up the list. I think that's my plan of attack. May it succeed. All right, 80's opinion is 60. The expectations are win at least 6 games or win the division. Winning the division is not going to happen because in my division is Ohio State and Michigan. Perhaps you've heard of them. So win 6 games. Boosters. Beat Indiana. Cool. Score 40 points at least once. I did that once last season against Marshall. I came close against Northwestern and Duke. 40 is a big ask, but it's $2 million. What else you got? Convert a minimum of 40% of third downs in a full season. Also, we're ranked 13th to open the season. I just now realized that. Pardon? Well, okay then. You know what? I'll keep the 41. Throw 25 total passing touchdowns in a full season. That one might be tough. Yeah, Cade's only got 10. 25 is tough just for how much we run the ball. Win the division, that's not happening. Pass for 300 yards in one game. I'll sub that one in. And then hold opponents to less than 40% third down. No, we're bad. We're bad at that. Win the division. Hold at least one opponent to 5 or fewer. Or pass for at least 350 yards in one game. Sure. Why not? It's a new interest. Get him in. Okay. So you know what? We just have to pass for 350 yards in one game. Has Cade ever done that? Should I have thought of that before negotiating? Maybe. He got 300 once against LSU. He got close against Wisconsin. He got 320 against Ball State. He got close against Maryland. I think we can do it. We just need to throw the ball like out of our mind. I like it. Let's keep that one. All right, so our donor goals. The 2 golds score 40 points at least once and beat IU. 3 bronze, pass for 300 yards in a game, 350 yards in a game, then BIU. Okay. Here's our schedule for reference. I like our schedule. I think I did a decent job this year making sure that the second out of conference game was home. Because having it be 2 away, away, home to OSU, bye, away, that would have been difficult just with recruiting. Okay, so we're the number. Wait. New Purdue athletic director. Excuse me? What happened to my old AD? The coach opinion was so high. It was like an 80. That's depressing. An opinion penalty 20% has been applied. You rats. Whatever, it's fine. Color recruiting? No. Well, let's advance. All right, week 1. First, before I do absolutely anything at all, let me just look at my wide receivers, because if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget, and see if anyone's potential is bad. Rutledge, get out. Perez, get out. Sterling, get out. Blackwell, get out. Okay. If any of these guys... Okay. So I need to schedule visits sooner rather than later. Because if I don't do it now, that means week 2 I won't be able to. So let's get that going. Okay. So Beasley, let's do. Oh yeah, hold on. I guess since the full schedule is out now, I can see rankings. So we face ranked OSU, ranked Stanford, ranked Michigan, ranked Penn State this season at the moment. Okay. I can live with that. All right, let's just schedule some visits. So some of these guys I'm going to be scheduling in weeks 2 and 3, which is going to hurt. Beasley, go to Minnesota. Bartlett, you can be with Tony at Stanford. Leach, similarly. Gustafson, UCLA. Oh no. He's already visiting another school. So you can go to OSU then. Davenport, Rutgers is away, which is a shame. You can go to Stanford. Riley, you can go UCLA. McNeil, who is a hidden gem. You can similarly UCLA. Is that everyone? No. Pair of wide receivers. Man, I'm looking at a lot of wide receivers now. Well, 1 to go to OSU. And then the other one I'll put just in the Michigan game. Okay. I'll come back to recruiting after that. But I wanted to get that done and dusted. All right. So, overall, pretty good off season. I think we got pretty much everything out of the transfer portal we could have hoped. We completely rejuvenated our offensive line, bringing in McFadden, Schwartz, Peoples, and Rich. I think that'll really help our group. I think the weaknesses in this team are kind of similar to what they were last year. If Cade McKee goes down, if he gets injured, we are in big trouble with Antonio Stevens being the backup. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets through okay. Our running back room did not develop as I would have hoped. I said the same thing last year, and it's still true. I think we're pretty top heavy with Hagan, but the rest of that is a bit shaky. Could see a lot more running backs getting involved than last season. Wide receiver, I think bringing in Philip Casey and Walker Green will really help this group out. Muhammad Carney had kind of arrived on the scene last season, got some really clutch catches, so I'm happy with that group. See how that goes. Actually, now that I think about it, let me flip them. Sorry, Carney. What was that? Tight end. Tight end. It's fine. I mean, Diego Ford being our number one tight end is a bit shaky. I think I have hope for Jay Brandt that he'll develop into a really good blocker. Calderon already has the passing ability, so I think next year it'll kind of be a tight end by platoon situation. O line, we're looking nice. We got Aiden Wright up top. We got all these guys in here for depth. I'm okay with that. Kicker, I'm happy with Ulrich. He'll be our starting kicker hopefully for 4 years. Defensive line, I think we're a little top heavy. Transferring in Zane Prince really helps that. But depth-wise, it gets a little bit of a drop-off after Palmer, who's, he's only going to be here for a year. Curry, Long, Saunders all going to graduate. D-line's going to be our biggest need next year, I think. Linebacker, I'm happy with. It's a little shame that Malik Parker didn't get the development I wanted. Corner, I'm a happy man. But if we have a lot of injuries to the cornerback room like we did last season, I'm afraid. Safety, I like Sutton. Kane Chase, I think, is solid. After that, there's a big drop-off. But all of that gets us an 85 offensive talent and an 84 defensive talent. We are currently ranked the 13th team in the country. I think that's a bit premature, but so be it. I don't think I'm going to play a game this stream, so on Thursday I will open the season. I think my goal is to get through the first 4 games. I think that'll give us a pretty good indication of where we're at. If we go 4-0 going into Air Force, I'm a happy man. I did want to check really quick to see which of our quarterbacks that transferred out are starting. I'm going to look at Rutgers first. Dominic Banks, his overall is a 78. Banks got a big boost then. He was 75, I think, before. Good on you, Banks. All right. Okay. So we're going to face former quarterback Dominic Banks against Rutgers. What about Alberto Randall at Iowa? No. I mean, 3 guys that are all within 1 overall of each other. I'm going to be honest, Randall does not have the accuracy. I mean, 83, 84, and then a big drop down to 74. He does have an 85 arm strength, but these guys are better at that. So no. Randall, it looks like, just going to be a backup at Iowa, which is a bit of a shame. His overall also, I don't think, moved. I went up by 2. My mistake. His overall went up by 2. His accuracy barely went up. It's a shame. Let me actually check really quick and just see Rutgers with Banks. Yeah, Banks' overall went up by 5. That's all right. Good on him. And then finally, I saw them ranked. Miles Bland at Texas A&M. Ooh, he is the starter, but by 1 point. But Shamar Kerr has better potential. Will the AI defer to that? How did Bland's overall change? Went up by 2. His potential went up by quite a bit. Armstrong went up by 1. Accuracy only went up by 1. IQ went up by 4. That's good. Yeah. Interesting. All right, good on them. That'll be something to track, when we play them and then at the end of the season to see how those 3 men did. All right, but that is it for me, everyone. I'm going to stop the stream here. Overall, I think it went pretty well. We got a lot of the players we want in the transfer portal. We're 13th in the country. I think this year and maybe next year is kind of make it or break it at Purdue, because if we're not going to be able to beat OSU and Michigan this year with this team, I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. But thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on the VODs on Twitch or YouTube. I'll be back on Thursday with the kickoff of season 4 in 2027. Very excited. See you all then.